Hey, everybody. I want to talk real quickly today to everyone about focus. We are now under 60 days until probably the most consequential presidential election of our time. And this is when we really need everybody to be involved, to be engaged, and to be focused on the things that can make a difference. And that's really the key here, okay? We have to avoid being distracted by things like, I don't know, Kamala Harris is a completely reprehensible individual. We have to avoid getting dragged off into vitriol and personal attacks and things that aren't going to be productive in the sense of the only thing that matters right now, which is winning. So there are two things that are going to make a difference. And complaining and nasty memes and insults, they don't count. They're not helpful. At best, they achieve nothing. At worst, they end up irritating, annoying, or angering folks in the middle by presenting us in a bad light, and they drive folks into voting for Kamala, doing the unthinkable. So that's what I mean by focus. What actually matters? First, turnout, which is what the Trump campaign is laser focused on in Pennsylvania. And as many disagreements as I have with them on a variety of fronts, they're completely right about this. We got a whole bunch of people who spend a lot of time complaining, who are irate, who are furious, who are disgusted, and then don't even bother to register or vote. We keep coming back to the stat regarding gun owners. Over 500,000 gun owners in the state of Pennsylvania who haven't even registered to vote. So that's got to change. The obsession with sitting online and complaining and bitching and grousing and talking about how the Republic's going to hell in a handbasket, but not lifting a finger to fight back. We have to overcome this. So you have to get the folks who are on our side in this titanic struggle to vote. However, whatever that means. And there is no implication here for the record of asking anybody to do anything that is illegal at all. What I mean by that is whether that means they go to the polls on election day or they get themselves a mail-in ballot and they participate that way. One way or the other, they have to participate. If you look at the raw numbers in recent elections, the percentage of Democratic voters, people registered as Democrats, the percentage of their people participating in voting is grossly in excess of the number of Republicans. I'm sorry, that's just the God's honest truth. We got a whole bunch of people who say that they're terrified that the Republic is going down in flames, and they should be, but don't bother to intervene, don't bother to participate, exercise their right to vote. We have to change this. And you have to change this by personally going out and touching folks around you and getting them to participate in the process. Okay, second piece of the fight. Undecided voters, those folks who can still be reached. This is a huge issue because there are major constituencies in this election that I guess I would characterize as being non-traditional Republican constituencies. that are shifting, okay? The Hispanic community as a prime example. A lot of these folks who registered as Democrats once upon a time, for whatever combination of reasons, who are really, really, really disenchanted with a Democratic Party that is destroying the economy, destroying the borders, waging war on the family. You're talking about a group of people who, by and large, painting with a broad brush, very family oriented, for whom religion is central, who are incredibly hardworking, who want to keep the money that they worked really hard for, who are sick to death of the price of gas, the price of eggs, the price of everything. These are folks who you can reach out to. Look, Donald Trump understands this. When he is standing on stage with RFK Jr., getting his endorsement and getting RFK to now campaign with him, he's not doing it because that's the key to the MAGA vote. He already had the MAGA vote. That's the key to a whole group of folks who have really lost faith in the Democratic Party, who are really sick of the deep state, who are fed up with what they saw during the alleged pandemic. And Trump is reaching out to those folks. That's his genius. He understands that. He's reaching out to a completely non-traditional constituency. When he's got Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democratic congresswoman, and the former DNC chair up there fighting for him, endorsing him, he ain't doing it because the MAGA people are going to be the ones that Tulsi brings along. He's doing it because he understands that there are a whole lot of people who have voted Democratic traditionally, voted for the Democrat Party traditionally, who now are really disgusted with what they see. They're fed up with endless wars. They're fed up with the deep state. So you gotta understand that. You gotta channel the same thing. You gotta get out of your little patriot groups where you're talking to the same 30 people every month, reinforcing each other's beliefs. I mean, that's great as a support structure. I'm all for that. But that's not going to put points on the board. You got to go talk to folks who you would not ordinarily talk to. You got to get out of your comfort zone. And you have to, as you do this, focus on the key issues, right? The key issues that will turn this campaign, first and foremost, everything associated with the economy, jobs, inflation, people can't afford houses. The American people are living off their credit cards. That's the God's honest truth. They're not buying luxury items with credit cards. They're buying the groceries every month with credit cards, and they're not paying off the balances. We're running toward a fiscal cliff. All of those credit cards have limits. Everybody's bumping up against them. People can't afford houses. We have more Americans living in their cars now than ever before in history. We have fast food chains going out of business right and left. We've got those that are hanging on, pushing these insane meal deals where they're virtually giving away food. They're doing that because American people now say that increasingly fast food is a luxury. And McDonald's is finding that it has to slash its cost to get people to come in because people can't afford to buy Big Macs. This is the stuff you need to be talking about. Inflation, food. People are fed up with the border. And I got news for you. In the Hispanic community, more than anywhere else, probably, they're fed up with the border. Because if you came here 25 years ago and worked your butt off to build a new life, and now they're telling you they're going to take your tax dollars to pay for this scumbag that just got out of prison in Venezuela, you're not psyched about that. Okay? Bread and butter issues, kitchen table issues, inflation, jobs, crime. 3/4 of the folks that are arrested in Manhattan now are illegals. 3/4 of the arrests on Manhattan Island now are folks who are in the country illegal. You got apartment buildings being taken over all over the country by Tren de Aragua, which is a massive Venezuelan gang. These are not just a handful of thugs with guns in their waistband acting tough. This is a massive, officially designated transnational criminal organization. It is here. It's a frigging invading army. Everybody in the country feels this. This is what you got to be talking to people about. Not Kamala's history with Willie Brown, as disgusting as it may be. Not any of this other nonsense. Right? These are the key issues. These are the things on which elections turn. Right? As Bill Clinton would say, reprehensible as he is, it's the economy, stupid. It's what he said to Bush. And he was right. Again, he's a reprehensible human being, but he knew what he was talking about from a cold, calculating, political standpoint. This economy is horrifying. People are terrified. That's what's going to get undecided voters to vote for Trump and against Kamala. All right. We need everybody in the pool, everybody on the field, whatever metaphor you want to use. We got less than 60 days. Push all the way across the finish line. Keep focused. Don't get distracted. Don't go down rabbit holes, posting nasty memes and saying trashy things about Kamala. Talk about the core issues that every American cares about. What's the central question? Ronald Reagan told us a long time ago. Ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Any American who's being remotely honest has to answer that question in the negative. All right.